Hey, you guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? This is your girl, Dr. T. I'm coming to you at 5. I know it's been a while, right? Because I've been coming on Saturday morning. I just want to say, hey, what's up? What's going on? Your girl is still in the business of trying to figure out how to improve your biz. So I want you to just sit tight today because we have some special guests that will be on in a moment. But the one thing I wanted to preface to you today is doing business the way that you want to do business and making sure that you have the wherewithal that it's okay to be you in your business. I've been talking about this last quarter, and I want you to continue with it into 2021. How are you putting down or figuring out what your calendar is going to look like in business and in your life? Okay. So the one thing that, I always say is that, I've been doing business for 22 years. I've been in practice for 22 years. I've helped my patients. I've helped colleagues, just to kind of figure out what's going on. And a colleague of mine, we joked about it last week or so to say, hey, don't you find like you're like a counselor, even though or a therapist, even though people are in, your chair to get their eyes examined. And we find that because of the closeness that, we have, is that they feel like they can open up to us. So I would say for the last 22 years, that's what I've been coaching people. I've been coaching my colleagues. And so that's why I created Sustain Your Biz Academy. And this was created not too long ago. And we are really expanding the guests that we're going to come on. One of them, I'm hoping he's able to connect, will be one of our ambassadors. He will be teaching at the academy. So I can't wait. And you guys, this is what's coming up. You got to get your ticket to this amazing entrepreneur empowerment conference. It's free. It's free. Get it now. Get it now. Because you know why? Because I'm getting ready to show you guys or bring in some amazing speakers. I've reached out to some friends that have really caught on to what Sustain Your Biz is about. And we're going to get right in. So the first person I'm going to bring up is Shay Sams, and we're going to see how we can do a panel today. But I think she's on mute, so I'm going to unmute her and bring her in. You are muted. Let's see. How do we unmute you?
Unmuted.
All right. Hey, Miss Shay.
Dr. TOD.
What's going on, you guys? This is Shay Sams with
Business.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't have my coffee yet. Hold on.
I was about to say it's like all late in the day. Yeah.
Let's talk biz, but I know her for something else. That's why I'm like, she is an amazing songstress. She's an independent artist. Yes. And our other person keeps coming back in and out. John, stay on. I'm getting ready to bring you in. But talk about Let's Talk Business for a moment.
Yes. Well, Let's Talk Business was actually established in May 2020. You know the story, but for those of you who don't know the story, I consider what happened to me a push. After being with my company for a few years, the company really decided to go through what we would call a reorganizational structure, and I was let go from the company. So right after that, I decided, and actually it happened before then. So in February, I was kind of creating what I was doing anyway. Like you were helping people already. You were coaching people already. I was helping people market their businesses, promote their businesses, and it was a passion of mine. Noticed that I was doing that with my employees as well, and so decided to go ahead and take the plunge to help small business owners, because I had done work with corporate companies for a long, long time. So opened my territory to small business owners as of May 2020. And Let's Talk Business. Yeah, Let's Talk Business is actually a consultant, strategist, and coaching company. So, what we do primarily is help new business owners identify with ways to build their business, promote their business, market their business. We help on the administrative side, kind of like yourself on the provider side. We help you identify with the things that people don't know are essential for your business. Everyone has a great product, but they don't think about the paperwork that goes with it, the administrative stuff that has to go, the marketing that has to go, and understanding who your audience is. So we help with that. And that's where the strategist piece comes in. October 2020, I actually graduated from life coaching school as well, because I felt that was an extension to the business. I was doing just what you said, coaching people through their business. So I wanted to have something to certify me to do that. And so shout out to the school that I went to do that. Shout out to Dr. Terrell. But that was an amazing opportunity for me. Got a chance to network with a lot of people. So we added that coaching piece, because how many of us need to be coached while we're trying to establish a business?
And so that's why, I also, same here, why I created Sustain Your Biz LLC as a life and business coach for
Yeah.
sustainable for your business, because I think a lot of times, I'll be honest, I paid consultants over the
Yes.
years.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would say within these, let me tell y'all, I've had 2 coaches since March or April. They've gotten me where I am today,
Wow.
versus in this short amount of time,
Yes.
right? Short amount of time, with creating the academy, creating the LLC,
Mm-hmm.
pushing me to get that beauty line up
Yeah.
and running,
Yeah.
and pushing me for doing this Sharp Sexy Sister Entrepreneur Empowerment Conference. Like, no one else did that. And I would say that the reason why I created Sustain Your Biz LLC, and the reason why I say it's your business, is because we're not cookie cutter businesses. And
Yes.
even with Shay, with Let's Talk Business, her motto is similar to mine. It's like, it's your business. Let's help you run your
Yeah.
business. Let's
Yeah.
do the foundational principles on how to run your business. I'll say, for example, my sustainability is because I don't do eye care like most people. I don't do eye care like most people.
Yeah.
I do house calls, or I'll take, now we're doing telehealth, and people are like,
Right.
so that's just too close, y'all. I don't want to be that close.
I'm like, I'm not, look, I don't have any foundation on today. It's okay. Drink a lot of water. It helps.
Yes. So let's talk about a little bit. John is having some technical issues, so he will probably be back on. We'll see how we can make that work for him. I'm not sure. But let's talk about today's topic is what makes your biz unique. So if somebody was coming into you and wanting to ask, or what would you ask them the question as to what makes your business unique?
Ask them about their business or about
Yeah,
my business.
their business.
Yes, I definitely do ask what makes your business unique. I mean, you said it that both of us are doing the same thing, but just like a football team, there's players on the field with one mission, and every person has a position to play. And so when they do that, when I in my consultation, I do ask, what is unique about your business? What helps you stand out? And to be honest with you, a number of people don't know. They just know they have a great product. And so, so yes, I do ask that question.
Awesome, awesome. So one of the things that, I ask is, I go deep really quick. Um, so one of the things that I didn't realize that I needed to do was a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis, as you know, most people do it for what? Their business. I flip it and
Mhm.
have them do it for their life,
Yeah.
because in
Yeah.
order
Can
for
you
you
hear me,
to,
Tamara?
yes, ma'am, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Because one of
Yeah,
our, I
go
keep
ahead.
seeing you go. I keep seeing you go still, and then I'm there. So I don't know if it's me because I'm moving, but you might go still. You might make sure I cut
That's
you off.
fine.
That's all.
We have to respect the tech, you guys. Respect the tech. Like last week, it wasn't working all the way either. So, we'll keep it moving for you guys.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I have people do a SWOT analysis
Hmm.
on, what how they're wired, what makes them
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
And SWOT, you guys, stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So usually I'll have a person do that just for their baseline when they come in, so that they can see where they are. And you find that a lot of people focus on their weaknesses?
No. A lot of people who come my way, they really do feel like they have it all together. So some of them have been in business for years, and some of them are just starting, but they start knowing again that they have a great product. And guess what? They've been selling it to cousin Betty, they've been selling it to Aunt Joe and their friends, and they've had their parties. And so a lot of my people that come to me, they feel they already have it together. So they already work on, we identify the weaknesses in the 30, 60, 90 days. Um,
Okay.
and at times, it's kind of a gut check for them, but no,
Mhm.
they come in with that mindset that they are already working within their strengths.
Good. Awesome. And what kind of things do you think that they have? What are some misguided strategies that they are coming with?
Well, the first thing, Tamara, honestly, is I keep talking about the product, but um, the first thing is understanding the marketing side of it, understanding the actual marketing. I remember when I was younger and I was trying to do Mary Kay. It was kind of funny because it was like the consultant was like, you can do this and just invite your family in, and I was like, how, I think about it now, like, how was I selling a product that I myself wasn't using? Like, I
Oh,
didn't wear makeup then. So why am I selling a product, or how can I believe in a product? So a lot of people come in. So I think it's knowing how to market and who your target audience is. That's the number one thing. Because you might have a cupcake store on the corner, and there's a reason why that cupcake store is there. You're thinking, I see a line around the corner, for this cupcake place. It must be a cupcake opportunity. So then you go to open your cupcake shop, and that not one person comes in, and you're like, well, it worked for them, but it's not working for me. So
mhm.
knowing your audience, knowing who to target, and there's a whole analysis out there. What's your age market?
Right.
There's so much there, but we don't focus on that. We just know that the aunts, the cousins, and the uncles and friends are going to purchase it, and then after that, then what?
Yeah, and then not even that, all the time that your family are supportive.
Yeah,
I've known colleagues and friends that are
yeah,
in business, and their family is not supporting
yeah,
of that
yeah,
entrepreneurial
exactly.
mindset,
Yeah, because they
and
know you.
hmm?
they know it's you. They know you.
Right.
You know, how many times have you sold a product and then you go in their house and you see that product coming from like a Walmart, a Hallmark? You sell candles, but you see the Hallmark candle, or they went to Family Dollar, or, you know, and it probably costs just as much, but they're so used and conditioned to going to Walmart, all these other places to get what they need. So it's you. Your family's familiar with you. So just go ahead and start trying to target an audience that's going
just branch on out. So we're giving you some nuggets. Let us know who's watching. If you have any questions for us, you know, let us know. Say hey in the comments. Say what's up. What's up, Dr. T? What's up, Shay? I think John is in the building. He will let me know. Yes, John is in the building. He fixed his technical stuff. You guys,
John was gonna get it.
I know. I am hyped. So we were stalling a little bit. So now we have I'm going to introduce John. And see, the reason why we say that he would get it, he'll tell you in a minute.
Hey, everybody. Hey, ladies. Dr. T. Hey, Shay. Samuels. How you doing?
I'm great, Brother John. Michael, how are you?
I'm good. Good. You know, it's kind of funny. You know, I do a podcast, the Multifarious Man podcast, and I usually don't have sound issues because that's all I usually have to deal with is sound. And when you're recording, I have a mixing board, everything. I have a backup digital recorder. There's many things I can do when you're not recording live. When you're not broadcasting live, I can do all types of stuff in the back end to alleviate problems. But today, I don't know if it was Edge or if it was Chrome, but they were not working together. So I had to close some things out. You know, computers are amazing when it comes to creating content. But sometimes you got to do a little thing. Sometimes you got to turn it off and turn it back on. Sometimes that actually works. Or you try a different port on your computer, and that's what I ended up having to do. But you know, I do apologize for showing up late. I don't like to show up anywhere late.
You weren't late. You were on time. It was the technology that was late.
Perfect. Only thing good to show up late for is Thanksgiving dinner, because then you get there right when they're serving.
That is true. That is so true. So yes. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm John Michael Butler. I'm from Queens, New York, and every time I get on here, I got to shout out Laurelton, Queens, the original LA, as we like to say. But you know, spent majority of my life in New York City, so I'm a city boy for life. And you know, till I moved down to Florida, to Jacksonville. And I've been podcasting for about 5 years now, but my background is I've always been a theater kid, love movies, love films. My father was a librarian by trade, so I grew up in the New York City public library system behind the scenes. Got to hang out in the main library, the one from the beginning of Ghostbusters with the lions in front. Got to see all the inner workings behind the scenes, how they get new books, how they buy books. So that's where my love of stories came from. Always getting to read, go to other worlds, and to explore. And as I got older, you know, when I got into theater, in high school and in college, that kind of stayed with me. And then I put it away for a while. Enjoyed movies, enjoyed books, never stopped. Then about 5 years ago, I decided to start a podcast. And here I am 5 years later, still telling stories, still sharing ideas, and just bringing my love for the arts to people. And it's expanded into entrepreneurs also, because if you think about it, anyone that has a business or sells something or has an idea, or even if you think about the world of actors and musicians, they are entrepreneurs, every single one of them, except their product is either something they wrote, they created, something they sang. You know, you can be without writers or without singers, you don't have music. They kind of go together.
And you have the songbird on.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I kind of mentioned it. So, but if you think about it, you know, a singer, a songwriter, they're entrepreneurs. They're their creative property that they create. Each time they are creating a product that they're sharing. They start with an idea and they're sharing it with the world. So one of the beautiful things about podcasting is you have that opportunity to share your ideas and bring other people along, so that they can actually, that kind of direct to the customer, or direct to the audience. And that's me.
So when we're starting the question, what makes your biz unique? And you guys, John is coming on as one of our ambassadors or professors. So he will be teaching the art of podcasts, and how to take your biz into that direction if you want to. So talk a little bit, not a lot, because they got to get that free pass down there for this Sunday's Sharp Sexy Sisters. And the reason why we have John on is because, the spirit moved me to say, hey, the spirit moved me to say, I know we've been on this sisterhood, this feminist movement and all this stuff like that, but are we forgetting one of the key people in our lives? And that's our brothers, and so let us hear the voices of our brothers as well, especially in this climate that we're in, and the fact that we still need to be united in all of this, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether or not it's, in our lives, whether or not it's in church, unity needs to be there. And so that's what I woke up with and was like, you know what? This Sharp Sexy Sisters is changing. And then this quarter, it will be the voices of our brothers. So we have to add our men. So tell us how podcasting can help businesses.
Well, first and foremost, it helps you directly speak about your product or your business. It's another way to reach customers and share your story. And it's an inexpensive way to do that. If you think about it, any person that has a business will probably either they don't know or they'll figure it out when you're trying to advertise, when you're trying to spread the word. Your first customers are going to be friends and family. And and you want them to spread the word. You want them, to be an ambassador for, your products. Like, hey, you got to check this out. Hey, you got to listen, to my girl Shay. Have you heard her voice? You got to listen to this song. Even if you go back in the day when, in hip hop, where people were selling CDs out
the trunk.
Hip hop.
So it's the same thing. It's like it's a way that you can control, that you can actually start spreading your word. And think about it, with people having these computers in their hand, that people are never out of touch anymore. You can stream anything, you can listen to anything, and people are now used to getting things in snippets and in bits. So if you have something that you're promoting, you're trying to tell your story, whether it's a book, whether it's a song, whether it's a new chicken and waffle place at the corner, here is a way that you can send this out to people. You can add links in Facebook, Instagram, all these different places where you can now share your story in your own words. And, it's something that, that digital file, that, that MP3 of your podcast is something that can reach the entire world. You can target a particular person, you can target everyone, but it's so easy for you to get to that point to now you're your best advertiser. How do you tell your story? Who tells it better than you?
And so for a podcast, so that's your niche, you would say. What would be one of the primary questions that you would, if you had to interview a business, what would be your primary question that you would ask?
Well, this is something just personally that I'm always interested in, is what made you come up with the idea of X? Like, if you're a chef, like what made you decide you wanted to cook for everybody? Or if you're a musician or a writer, if it, I've always been intrigued. How do you get from, if I was going to interview a singer, I'd say, hey, how did you get from that idea? Did you start with the melody? Did you start with the music? Or did you start with the lyrics? And where did you get that drive? And that story, it's going to be different for everyone. Even if people, if you think about it, 2 people, 3 people can come up with the same song title, and they'll be drastically and dramatically different. I mean, one of the little pieces of trivia I think about it all the time is probably in the 90s, and I'd love to age myself, but that's okay. Like, fine one. At one point in time, there were two songs in the top of the charts. Both were called Hold On. One was by a group called out of Oakland, California, called In Vogue.
Mm-hmm.
And another was by Wilson Phillips, which was a group made up of children of the Beach Boys, and I can't remember the other group, but basically two completely different songs, two different ideas, don't even sound remotely the same, but they were hitting.
Yeah.
And to just kind of have someone and to basically get into their mind and say, where did you come up with that idea? Like, where did that come from? That's always exciting for me. And I think, even as listeners and as consumers, there's a reason why those behind the scene shows are so popular, because people want to know, it's not always about the mess. Sometimes they just want to know about the genius behind it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, that's it. And you touched on something right there, because one of the things that I tell people in coaching is that although you may have the same product, that doesn't mean that yours is going to be less or more than anybody else. So I always tell people to put their blinders on, because if they're constantly looking at somebody else, Shay even talked about that, as far as that cupcake shop that has somebody around the corner, you have to now know what makes you stand out a little bit different from them. Maybe it's an ingredient, or maybe it's how you do business. I know for me as an optometrist, I don't do business the same as most optometrists. I take the eye care industry to the patient. And even now with telehealth, which is taking a moment to get people to understand they can take a vision test in their home, but they also have the technology. They have to have the technology. So, now I'm getting ready to tweak maybe 2020, provide people. I'm not saying what I'm going to do yet, because I don't want nobody sick, but help them with getting on.
Right.
Just leave it at that. And so that's just one of the things. And like, when you're helping people to define who they are, I think that is key, so that they can keep forging their way through. Because now we're in COVID, there's plenty of businesses that have shut down.
Yeah.
And your business should be open.
Yeah.
Got to support your small businesses. I don't care what anybody says. It's the lifeblood of any community. And I think sometimes people forget. What do you hear sometimes? Oh, they charge too much. I'm like, come on, stop it. People will spend whatever they want to get whatever they want. And I think that's an excuse whenever I hear that one. I'm like, really?
Yeah. And it's not that the product is too expensive. You're not worth buying it. So it's not that the product is expensive. Exactly. You're not worth buying it from.
Right.
And so that's the difference between the product and the person. So I say the two P's, that there's the product and there's the person. You can sell the same product, but they will pay $30 somewhere else because of the name.
Right.
But they and of course there's some history behind it, because so many people have been they've been hurt by businesses, especially African-American businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a stamina. But like you said, getting back to the community of it, there's a strip in New Orleans. I was watching it on the news the other day, and there's a strip in New Orleans, and they are small businesses that have been there forever. And there were like these kids, of course, when the Black Lives Matter movement was at its peak, they were on the streets destroying the businesses that were there. They didn't take pride in the fact that these businesses are there, and that's what keeps the businesses going. And so it's the same thing. It's as the older we get, the more we lose the relevancy of what the community looks like. And to Michael's point, the community has become. You said it earlier, Dr. TOD. This technology is what we would call a community. That's why you see popping up all over the place, so that we can support one another, that we can grow one another's business. We'll share a retail store discount before we share one another's discount. And so it's important to go back to what community looks like.
Yeah. And so this is why we created this. This is why we are creating Sustain Your Biz, Let's Talk Biz, Multi-First podcast. This is our community that we are trying to form so that we can keep you informed as an entrepreneur, as an African American, if you're in health and wellness, if you're a writer, if you're, whatever business that you want, it'll be at the academy. If you want to teach in the academy, there's an opportunity for you there. If you want your voice to be heard, Sustain Your Biz LLC is that place so that you can either learn from us and grow. And this is one of the things that I've also honed in on. My friends always say, Doc, you need to teach. And I say, no, I ain't teaching. I'm not teaching. That's not me. It's like, no, you need to teach. And as they've been saying that over the last 10 years, yeah, that's how long they've been telling me.
10 years, huh?
That's how long they've been telling me. And I said, and then I looked, and it seems like, like, for example, like office assistants. They would come in, they'll learn a skill, and then they'll move on. Yeah. And at first I was angry. At first I was like, I took time and trained you how to do X, Y, and Z. Then I thought about it. I was like, I'm training them for their next.
Yes. And we have to be okay with that.
And we have to be okay with that. And that's what happened. I was okay. I was like, whoever's coming in, they got to do what they got to do when they get in here, but knowing that they're not going to be here long, you got to be okay. But especially with the younger millennials population, at first, like I said, I was thinking it was me. Why am I not a good boss?
Yeah, you make a good point. I think that the today's generation is more likely to move around and hop from job. I mean, we were raised in our parents' generation is they worked for the same job till they retired, whether they work for the city, whether they work for state. That's what you did. You didn't go from job to job to job. Where today, people will pick up and move. They'll stay with a job a year, 2 years. It used to be the average used to be 5 years. I guarantee you it's less than that now.
Yeah.
And I think the way the world and the way technology is to create more and more people are able to work. Well, one, people can work remotely when they can, but even for ones that can't, there's just more opportunities everywhere. Now the competition is not even just simply salary. A lot of time it's the benefits of being able to work in another city, being able to, work from home, where now that's where the competition is. That work-life balance is so important. But
what our doctor's office, that allows their staff to work from home.
See, I wouldn't even imagine. I mean, the fact I'm hearing that, I mean, I think that's the coolest thing in the world. I mean, I can tell you, I was the first person that, at first when they started offering teledoc, I'm like, man, I don't want these people looking at me on no camera. Then when I realized, one, how easy it is, how simple it is,
can I tell you
how convenient it is. I mean, and then even it's like, really, I'm paying a copay and I don't have to leave my house. I just saved me some time that now I don't have to take time off from work. I don't have to worry about when the kids were on, but you don't have to worry about certain things.
You don't have to worry about it.
I mean, there's certain things you have to come in for, and people understand that. But for basic, like you said, things like eye care, basic physicals in the sense, or even, say you got a cough and your eyes red and you're like, yeah, doc, what does this look like?
What is it? I go on here and I have them come on. I go a little close. I pop a picture. I blow it up. And I say,
What I think is hilarious is people will be quick to get on WebMD, but they won't get to the actual MD.
I didn't want to say that.
And I'm like, why don't you go to the actual doctor, but you do WebMD and thinking you got, oh man, I got the Black Plague.
You got four diagnoses before you even got to before you hit the send button. I wasn't even gonna go there and say that. They could call you Dr. TOD and say what they have.
Yes.
So I'm getting ready to put a case up on Saturday. This was the case that because I have to play two cards. I have to play the doctor card and I got to play the business coach card that we're doing today. But telehealth, I've been actually doing telehealth since I've been in practice. It's just the fact that we weren't able to bill for it.
Wow. Yeah.
and patients weren't paying for it.
Yeah.
So
Man,
you know,
now it's a benefit that they mention every year. They like, you even have access to, and I'm like, what? Where's the app? Let me download that.
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, so a
Even
lot
like
of
the
people
24-hour
are
nurse hotline to the 24-hour nurse hotline to
yep. Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah, so this is why I was talking about what makes your business unique.
Yeah.
You know, what can make you stand out. You know, and when I asked the company that I partner with, it's called Eye Care Live, and now I'm featured on their website. That tells me that there's not a lot of eye doctors
Yes.
doing telemedicine.
Yeah. And you can't be afraid to come outside the box either.
That's
So
it.
when you do like I said, I use the cupcake as an example, but even as a singer, I remember when I first started out, I would be, I used to watch a lot of people, not intentionally mimicking the sound. It's just how it comes out. And I remember when I finally found my sound,
Mm-hmm.
and it just really, it wowed me. And my mom was like, why aren't you screaming anymore? And I'm like, because that's not who I am. She like, she like that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's not me. I can do that, but that's not me. So even in that, amongst all of these other artists that are out there, what makes Beyond the Fence different? What makes us stand out? There's so many other labels out there, mainstream and independent. What makes us different? And so we had to really come up with that game plan, and that reputation began to kind of, follow us everywhere we went. And we're continually growing, but you have to be okay with coming outside the box. Unique is okay. Unique, everyone is like, well, if what does it say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or
Right.
if it's already somebody out there created it, why not just follow the strand? In my coaching sessions, I'd like to say there's two roads.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who will follow the road more traveled than the road less traveled, not realizing that you can create the footprints on the road less traveled for other people to begin traveling. And that's what you did, Dr. TOD, with you when you were training people. There was a road that was less traveled, and they came your way because they understood. And don't think those people are not going to remember who you are. Even when they create their own businesses, they're going to remember this is where it started. So don't be afraid to travel the road less traveled.
So you guys, these are, Shay Samuels and John Michael Butler. They will be our featured speakers at the Sharp Sexy Sister Entrepreneur Empowerment Conference this Sunday, the 13th, from 2 to 5. We have an amazing lineup for you. We have an amazing talk for you to empower you to continue with your business, and it's free. So get your passes now. You'll probably hate us because we're gonna hound you like on social media. Like, get your pass.
I got people hounding me right now, so I need to get the link out to people. People are hounding me.
Yes,
that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have. So I want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. You'll probably see one or both of them later on this week. We're probably going to be consistent with Live at 5 just because we're pushing this out so that people can be empowered.
Yeah.
And, the cool thing about this, you guys, we're all Christian.
Amen to that.
Okay, so if there might be some Holy Ghost stuff going up on there on Sunday as well, you never know. But we definitely, it's safe because we're virtual. You're gonna learn. We're gonna give you some nuggets, and then we'll tell you what you can do next. All right. So you guys, thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Backstage for just a sec. Don't leave. Again, this is your girl, Dr. T, with Sustain Your Biz Academy. What do I want you to do in this season? I want you to win. What does winning mean? Welcoming in the new you, investing in yourself, and to never, ever give up on you. Don't forget, get your ticket now. It's free. Let's go. We want you empowered for 2021. I'll see you guys on the other side. Be blessed.